So in Saskatchewan, what is workers' compensation? How do you get it? When do you need it? Well, I already made a couple of videos on this, but I decided just to remake it because there are some recent updates as of early 2025. So workers' compensation or workers' compensation insurance is just a form of workplace insurance that's provided by the Workers' Compensation Board of Saskatchewan in the case of Saskatchewan. And it's basically just a form of insurance that covers workers who get hurt on the job. You know, if they get hurt, they get injured, they get ill, and they have medical expenses from that injury. It's in the form of no-fault insurance, and it also offers some insurance against lawsuits for employers. So if you're wanting to get it or you need to get workers' compensation insurance in Saskatchewan, you can do that online on the WCB website. You can do that by phone or by mail. And now, do you actually need it or not? It depends. If you're just self-employed, as a sole proprietorship, you don't have any employees, any independent contractors, it's just you, then no, it's not mandatory for you to get it, but you can sign up voluntarily if you want. Whereas if you do have official employees on payroll, or you do have some independent contractors or subcontractors, then typically you do need it. So the WCB sees things a little bit differently than the CRA. The WCB just looks at if you have workers. Again, that could be contractors or employees, whereas the CRA has a very specific definition for an employee versus an independent contractor. So again, in the case that you do have a worker, someone working for you on payroll or even off payroll as an independent contractor, then in most industries and in most cases, you do need to register for workers' compensation insurance in Saskatchewan. Of course, if you're actually operating in this province. Now, if you do need it, you are supposed to register for it within 30 days of hiring workers. And now I did mention some key changes, and the one main one I wanted to touch on is that as of January 1st, 2025, if you own a corporation and you're a director of that corporation, but you're also working in that corporation as an employee on payroll or even, casual labor independent contractor, then in the past, you did need to register for workers' compensation because you're seen as a worker. But now the rule has changed where if you are a director of that corporation, then it's not required to have workers' compensation for yourself, and it's voluntary registration. Of course, if you have employees or independent contractors in that corporation, then you will need it, but the changes just pertain to directors of corporations where it's not necessary for them to have. Now, when you do register, the registration process is free, but you will have to pay an annual premium. And I have another video that explains how premiums work for WCB in Saskatchewan that you can check out here on my YouTube channel. But basically, just to summarize briefly, the premiums for your workers' compensation insurance are dependent on a few different factors, one being your industry, the other being how much payroll you have, and then lastly, your claims history. So you'll have higher premiums in industries that are higher risk, like construction, compared to industries that are lower risk, like office jobs in most cases. And then if you only have, one person on payroll as a part-time employee compared to having, 500 employees on payroll with a high salary, then of course your premiums are going to be different. And then if you have a clean history with no claims compared to if you have a history of many workplace injury claims, then of course your premiums will reflect that as well. And if you're wanting to find out more about workers' compensation insurance in Saskatchewan, I recommend just checking out their website. They have lots of information there, lots of resources. They have some videos, they have a brochure for employers. So there is lots of information there where you can find out more about how the insurance works and the different premiums and how to register and things like that. And so hopefully this video was useful. If so, please click like and feel free to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel here, where I currently have almost 300 videos that cover business management and business startup topics. And if you're looking for some help getting a business started properly in Saskatchewan, or you already have a business and you want to improve it or grow it, feel free to reach out, as I am a business consultant here in Saskatchewan and I work with small businesses. And you can book a free 1-hour initial consultation just through my website, which I will leave a link to in the video description below.